Hello, language scientists. Welcome to our phonology unit. In this video, I'm going to be telling you about phonology, phonetics, and the different classes of sounds that we're going to be talking about in this unit. First of all, phonology is part of the grammar of a language. Sometimes as teachers, we're conditioned to think that grammar is just sentence structure and punctuation, which punctuation is actually not part of the grammar at all. It's part of the transcription system that we use for writing, and we'll get to that a little later. Phonology is the level of grammar that describes and predicts how sounds work together to form the sound system of a specific language. You can talk about the phonology of English, which we're going to be doing a lot of in our class. You can talk about the phonology of German. You can talk about the phonology of Finnish or Abyssinian or any other language on earth. And when you talk about phonology in general, we're talking about the sound systems of languages. I'm not sure if I made it clear in the reading, but I want to take a minute and clarify the difference between phonology and phonetics. So phonology is the level of grammar that describes the sound system of a language, right? Phonetics is the toolbox of concepts and terminology that we can use to talk about speech sounds in general. So in order to understand the phonology of a language, we have to describe the phonetics of the sounds in that language and then talk about how they pattern together. So the phonetics you can think of as a way of describing any speech sound. We can talk about the phonetics of, labial consonant production, which is common to, as far as I know, all languages that I know of have sounds that you make with your lips, labial consonants. So we use our phonetic terminology, our phonetics toolbox, to talk about the phonology, the sound patterns in a language. If you want to just use the term phonology in this class to mean everything, I'm fine with that. I just want you to know that when you hear linguists or other, people talking about language, distinguishing between phonology and phonetics, phonology is the sound system of a language or the sound systems of languages. And phonetics is more like the general description of human speech sounds, the whole range of human speech sounds. Now that we have that out of the way, I want to tell you about classes of sounds. This just means different kinds of sounds. Your brains already know these fluently. We have consonants, which are sounds that we make by constricting airflow, a lot or a little. Vowels are sounds. They are not letters. Vowels, for our purposes in this class, are not A, E, I, O, U. Those are pictures. Those are the symbols that we use visually to represent different vowel sounds. In English, the vowels are E, I, A, E, A, U, and a lot of diphthongs like ow and a, where we combine more than one vowel sound as we transition through the syllable. That's a lot of vowels in English. It's way more than 5, and sometimes 2 more. We'll talk about that more in your reading and also in class. The other class of sounds that we're going to talk about that's somewhere in between consonants and vowels is glides. Glides include y, our Y sound, and w, our W sound. They pattern as consonants in English. They may not in other languages. So in English phonology, glides are pattern as consonants, and that's why we talk about them kind of mostly as consonants. But they also form parts of diphthongs like ow and a. So more about that later. That's your introduction to classes of sounds. The 3 main classes of sounds are consonants, vowels, and glides. That we also have in English liquid sounds, our R sound, and our L sound. These, we consider them to be consonants in English because they pattern as consonants. One note about liquids, our liquid may not pattern as a consonant in other languages. For example, in German, the sound patterns as a vowel, as in the name of the author Goethe. And it's not how our sounds are said in German. That's a velar sound. So there you go. Intro to phonology, phonetics, and classes of sounds. See you in our next video.